Hello, Tade here. Today I'm reviewing Some Prefer Nettles by Jun'ichiro Tanizaki. This book is about a married couple, Kaname and Misake. So Kaname is the husband and he's a widow, which is a acquiescent cuckold, which means that his wife is seeing another man, but he is kind of okay with it. He's not really that against it. It's kind of almost as if he approves it. So it follows their unhappy, strained marriage. They want to get a divorce, but neither one of them can finally pull the trigger and just do it. There's a lot of push and pull of one of them is just waiting and hoping that the other will do it, but neither one of them will do it. So to describe their relationship, they describe it as if they're each holding a bowl between them and it's filled with water and they're waiting for it to tip towards one of them or the other. So like they don't have to make the decision. Their partner will make the decision and then it will be out of their hands. But it's just both of them refuse to make the choice. So they're stuck in this awful, like, tortured middle ground. Throughout the book, one of the major themes is traditional views in Japan versus modernization and bringing in Western influences. So if you've ever read Tanizaki before, you know that's one of his favorite dualities is traditionalism versus modernism. And you see it a lot in the main character. His wife's father is a traditionalist. So his girlfriend, he dresses up in almost like a doll, Japanese doll, and she has her teeth blackened in the Osaka style. She always wears a kimono. She must play the instruments and also prepare bento, many layered lacquered bento, and that is against their idea of divorce and the idea of having a lover and bringing in a lot of the ideals and things that are seen in the West. One of the ways it's most thoroughly explored is through the idea of bunraku theater, so it's the puppet theater, and one of the characters, the wife's father, he loves the puppet theater, but everyone else kind of just suffers it for him because they're in a modern time, so no one is kind of going to puppet theater. And even now in Japan, I've never been to puppet theater. I don't know anyone that's been to puppet theater. I don't even know where there is a puppet theater. So as sad as it is to say, I think modernism has probably won out on traditionalism on that one. Another one of the themes that Tanizaki talks about a lot in the book is the idea of the Madonna and the whore. So this duology was coined by Freud, I believe. And he or someone else famous said that basically if a man is caught between these two, the Madonna and the whore, the problem is that he has love for the Madonna but no desire. And with the whore, he has plenty of desire and no love. So throughout the book, the main character, he often struggles with this. And in one of the, I highlighted one of them to explain it to you. Okay, so his friend is telling him why he is not happy in his marriage to a perfectly good woman. It says, "It's because you're a woman worshiper. Women worshippers prefer the courtesan to the mother." He is convinced that women are only two types. And while I highly disagree with this, this is a theme that is played throughout the whole book. The only person who doesn't fall into either of those categories is the wife's father, who his girlfriend is actually just a doll. She is not even her own woman. She is a living embodiment of a doll. The final thing I was going to talk about is the title, which is Some Prefer Nettles. So there's a Japanese phrase which says, "Every worm to his taste, some prefer to eat nettles." And it means basically, like in English, to each their own. And I really thought that was interesting because in this book, to each their own, if you take it for each individual character, for the husband, his own is to find a way out of the mess that he doesn't have to deal with it himself. To find a way that it will be sorted by other people, by his friend, by his son, by his wife. For the wife, her taste is she just wants to be with her lover and she doesn't want to have to deal with children or her husband. For the friend, his taste is to just get everything done. So he just wants to push everything, and then for the wife's father, his taste is ancient Japan, old Japan, and he's against modernism, he's for traditionalism. So, and what you get when you have characters with such independent tastes is exactly what happens, which is nothing. Nothing is resolved, nothing happens, or everything happens so slowly that you almost don't see it happening. So that's also a thing that I really love about Japanese literature, is that most of the novels, you can interpret them in many different ways, and the characters act in strange ways that you can't predict, which I think is more true to life than some of the sappy, predictable books that are out there. Not that I don't love those, I do love those, but a part of me really likes Japanese literature for being gray and for being nonconformist. If you feel like reading a classic of Japanese literature that would really probably help to explain to you modernism versus traditionalism, especially in Japan, then I would recommend this book to you. It is very famous and it is beautifully written. Tanizaki is a great writer. Yeah, so that's the review for Some Prefer Nettles. If you liked it, and I'll see you around. Bye!